What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's episode 81 of the Dad Bod Golf Pod. My name's Kyle, and we are here ready to rock and roll on a Thursday. The weekend is in sight. The tee times are set. Shrapnel has been spread around, and we're ready. We're ready to rock and roll. We're proud members of the Belief Podcast Network, the #1 podcast network for professionals, fellas. We got to help our fans. We got to help our listeners that are listening. We got to help get them.
This is starting out great.
We got to help them get to the weekend. We got to bring the fire, and I think we got it tonight, fellas.
Ooh.
Nate, Ben, how's your week been?
Week's great, man.
Tell you what.
Have you hit any bets this weekend? Have you made any bets this weekend?
I have not made any bets this week yet.
Well, if you did, you should.
Where would I go?
If you haven't, you should. And if you want to, you need to check out Betonline.ag.
Yes.
They have a brand spanking new updated desktop and mobile website. This thing just hums like a Cadillac. Go to the website, sign up today, and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. You give them $100, they give you 50 back. Just use your promo code BLEAV50 BLEAV 50 to receive that bonus. Basketball, football, NHL, boxing, UFC, casino games, golf. You know, we've thrown out some banger golf picks, so stay tuned. Don't wait to take advantage of all these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest and fastiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Yes.
Starts.
7-card
stud. What's up?
Same thing. Begins, starts. All right, guys. So
episode 81.
There was a story that came out late last week, and it kind of picked up some steam over the weekend. And this has to do with this mysterious new golf league that's going to be launched by the Saudis, called the World Golf Tour. And then they announced the figurehead, and that's going to be none other than the Shark, Greg Norman. Greg Norman is going to be the commissioner, CEO, whatever, the face of the whole dang thing. Initial thoughts on Greg Norman, because I got something that kind of shocked me. What's your initial thoughts on this?
I love it. I love Greg Norman. He made a huge showing at the British Open a few years ago as an old guy. I'm too young to have really ever seen him play, but I wear the crap out of his polos. Great price point, quality shirt.
You kidding me? Steinmart special, baby. Let's go.
I think, yes, no doubt. So we've already got a clothing sponsor for this tour lined up, obviously. The number of people that I see wearing Greg Norman polos who don't even know who Greg Norman is, it's just a testament to his impact across the fashion world.
Affordable golf fashion.
Yeah, give it all to me. Give me all the Greg Norman that I can have here. Ben, what's your thoughts about Greg?
I like one. Didn't he kind of volunteer for this? They didn't choose him. Didn't he say, "Hey, I want to jump in there and be a part of this"?
Well, see, I think he kind of tried to do something similar to this in the past, and it didn't really pan out the way that it was.
But now he's got a financial.
But now he's got big money. He's got
he's got Saudi money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's nothing for them to be able to throw a bunch of millions of dollars at these players.
200 million over 10 years.
I think the valuation of this company that's backing him is 500 billion. That's what this company is worth. 500 billion.
Would it be?
Yeah,
that's incredible. So
that's why I also everything that it seems like, I could be wrong, but everything that Greg Norman that he gets involved when he likes to make it first class. So I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be, if this takes off and if this becomes, there's so many details that they don't know. Like when you've seen the various articles that come out, they don't know really all that's going to go into it and what's going to take place. They just know that he said yes. The Saudi oil has said yes. And there's a buzz amongst players already. So
Right.
that just lets you know that it's on the right track, because not only are they talking about it, some players are not liking it, but there's a lot of other like big name players that are like, yeah, man, I'm in. I'll do it.
Yeah, we'll go
I'll
over
go
that.
play.
We'll go over that in just a second. So initially, I love it. I love anything. I'm a free market guy. I want to see. I like the XFL, the AFL, whatever. It's fun. You just got to make it work. That's on you. You want to put out a product out there, you got to make it work. And initially, I'm like, Greg Norman, that's pretty sexy. That's a pretty sexy name right there. I'm a big Greg Norman guy. Love it. But I was shocked at how many golf people do not like Greg Norman. It kind of blew me away. Eamon Lynch had a scathing article. Basically, who's surprised by this? Nobody, because Greg Norman's always in it for the money, always in it for himself, all about himself, blah, 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 blah. People trying to make money, that doesn't really bother me. But I was just shocked. It's not just Eamon Lynch. It's several folks that they're not really surprised. They kind of think it's a joke, but
are these media members or are these players?
I haven't seen much from I'm just going to say golf community, and maybe that's a majority of media.
And maybe I shouldn't say media members. Maybe I should even say analysts, because I think some of these former players that are analysts now, some of their takes are kind of trash anyway. So.
And it's probably
They
more
just get paid for their
older
name.
It's probably more the older heads. I'm not really sure why they would care so much.
Poor people are the only ones who get mad when other people make a lot of money.
This probably has something to do with it.
Maybe they're upset because they used to play against them and they didn't get asked to do the tournament or tournaments.
It's possible. But anyway, they're going to do 10 events, and I think they're going to try to start it next year.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all going to be on, I think it's the Asian tour. And it's just going to be, they're going to try to have 10 blowouts, 10 big monster tournaments. And it could be pretty interesting. Players on the PGA Tour, if they want to play in it, they have to go through this like waiver process, like to be able to. They have to go through the PGA. The PGA is not happy about this, by the way. They're not happy.
But they're not happy with anybody that tries to go against them. Like they're
because they've got it, man. I talked about this a little bit to Kyle when we were talking about this. The PGA Tour hasn't made. They have no
competition.
The European Tour is not a competition to them. The Asian Tour, all these smaller tours, they've got their perfect feeder tour, the Corn Ferry feeder on the PGA Tour. They've got it all. They have a monopoly on U.S. golf.
TV rights. They have all the TV rights. They have. I mean, it's just a bidding war.
You've got great events.
But that's why it lets me know that there's a little teeth to this. The fact that they feel threatened to buy it, because like Nate said, they got they're the big gorilla in the room. And the fact that now they're looking over behind their back going, what the hell is this? And why are players interested in it? And, here we are asking players to play in X amount of tournaments and do contracts and all this. And he's just saying, hey, 10 tournaments, some of the best venues in the world, and we're going to pay you a boatload of money.
Yep.
You in?
Yep.
And some of the players have that sounds good to me.
Exactly. Let's talk about some of these players, because it's not just like your average Joe. These are big names. So 8 PGA we know of. There's not like this official list of like, I'm in. There's just a couple of guys that or 8 guys in particular that, have sought permission to compete in the Saudi International Tournament, which I think will be the first one. The Saudi International scheduled for February 3rd through the 6th. And those 8 players, we're going. Yes, we're there. So the headliner is Dustin Johnson.
Yeah.
So Dustin Johnson is in, and there's some others: Abraham Answer, Lee Westwood, Tommy Fleetwood, and I assume Tommy Fleetwood's hair will be there.
I sure hope so.
Henrik Stenson,
Show yourself,
or Onrik Stenson, whatever how you want to say it. Kevin Na and Jason Kokrak.
Big boxer brief guy.
So we know for a fact that those dudes are boxer brief.
Nice.
We know for a fact
that clip a lot, don't you, Ben?
Those guys have packing, by the way. Those guys have applied for waivers.
What's up, Grammy?
Have applied for waivers to play in this first event. And I mean, that's the first thing you have to do. You got to get big names involved, and it seems like they're kind of getting the ball rolling for that. Y'all have any thoughts there?
I'm curious to see if the TV picks it up. And they'd be stupid not to, because the Golf Channel's got that whole deal. So it would be great to see a network, an NBC or a CBS be like,
it's not going to be NBC.
It's not be NBC because Golf Channel is owned by NBC.
Right.
CBS, ABC, TNT. I mean, if any of those guys are like, you know what? Disney's got a big footprint over there. Maybe that's something that they decide to go into.
Maybe it's a subscription thing, Disney Plus or something like that.
Hey, kids,
Disney Plus or
turn off Princess Diaries and watch golf.
Well, I mean, Disney owns ESPN, so I mean, they could go that route, and so they could have it on one of the ESPN2 or ESPN Ocho, whatever they want to do. They could, and they got a footprint over there. So if that's when the PGA Tour needs to worry, is if they get a TV deal. If somebody says, man, it ain't but 10 tournaments, we're sending crews out like that.
Yeah. This smells like a TNT type thing.
Yes. And if they do something, if it goes like a cable network, like a TNT or a TBS or something of that nature, Kyle, then they're able to get away with some stuff that you can't get away with on Golf Channel and ABC and CBS coverages, because they want to make sure that they don't piss anybody off. But like, TNT, you've seen with TNT's basketball coverage, they don't care if they make anybody mad. That's not something they really care about. So they may, this is a way for them to capitalize. And if they get, let's just say they get 10 to 15 big names per tournament, and they're able to get it on television and do coverage the way they want to do it. Yeah, the PGA, it's not going to hurt the PGA Tour's pocket. So I don't know why they're all upset about it. They just don't want somebody to take something.
It could eventually.
Yeah. It could down the road. This first year.
Here's mine.
The thing is, they got to show all their cards on this first year, though, because they got to get people hooked. So they can't be small bones about it.
Here's my take on this. I'd say if you're this tour, Greg Norman and company need to go after basically the U.S. Ryder Cup team, because you go for the biggest names, and these guys need to understand that they have the power. Like, they are the driving force of the PGA Tour.
Yes.
Right. We talked about that. It's like 10 of the top 12 players in the world are Americans, or PGA Tour members. Okay, so just start picking these guys off. Obviously, money is no issue. Okay, we can throw ludicrous amounts of money at these guys
just to show up, not even purses.
Let's do it. Let's do a 16-man event that nobody else has. Let's do a 16-man match play, Sweet 16 style.
We'll get there. We're gonna get there, Nate.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
I'm just saying that
you're getting excited. You're getting excited. I like that.
He tried to be on the board. He's calling Saudi guy. He wants to be on the board. I hear you, Nate.
Okay, let me throw this at you. Okay, if I'm doing my math right, Saudi Arabia, like where they're, Dubai, wherever they're having these tournaments, you're talking about an 8-hour time difference. Okay, so when it's when you play golf there. When you typically play golf, 2, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever. Let's say 12 o'clock. When you play 12 o'clock, it's 2 a.m. where we live. So how are they going to pull this off? Did I do that? No, it's going to be 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Sorry. Sorry for the math, but basically it's going to, there's a big, how do you
he overthought the geography part. So you messed up the math. That's all right.
How do you pull this off? I mean, TV rights are big. They will get TV rights, but how do you? I mean, people got to watch it. People got to watch this thing. So,
well, I mean, if they're going to be owning their own entity and they decide that because PGA Tour.com is not going to carry it. So if they decide not to post scores, they can delay it. They can do it prime time. They can show it prime time.
That's what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to do the math in my head, because there's nothing better than primetime golf,
and
nothing better than live primetime.
They could do it. They could do it prime time, and because the scores wouldn't be released except for the media members that were there that cheat and go ahead and tweet out because everybody wants to.
No. Hold on. If we're finishing up at 10:30 Eastern, what time is that? You can't do that, can you?
No, it'd be like
they'd have to tee up at like 4 a.m.
6 or 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's not going to work. There's no way to really make it work. We're basically going to have to watch it early in the morning to be able to catch any of it. Yeah. But I mean, is the goal really? I mean, the ultimate goal is America, but if you're trying to improve the Asian tour and you have the coverage over there, like, is that not the maybe that's an easy market to tap into, especially with some of these popular American golfers? I don't know. I'm just saying that's going to be a tough obstacle.
Or the American golfers with ties to over there, like if they could make it prime time for Japan. And I mean, if they got Xander in there, who was welcomed with open arms, like back during the Olympics, and he's one of the featured groups, they're going to watch that prime time. They're going to sit around. They're going to get that entire Japanese audience. And so you're right. When they're over there, maybe that's what they do. They try to cater to that crowd over there, because we talked about how they want to do some tournaments in America. And then when they come here, they just blow it out and try to cater to the crowds here. They just cater to where they are.
They said there's not, but there's that one tournament in Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Invitational, but they said that there's going to be tournaments in Europe and Asia. So it's not always going to be just right there on that 8-hour time difference. I think the plan is I'm telling you, got to have U.S. tournaments. No world tour will survive without U.S. tournaments. And the PGA Tour can't stop you from having tournaments in the U.S. It's not like they can. I mean, there's going to be courses in the U.S. that are going to be like, shoot, yeah, dude, come on down. We'll host the top 30 players in the nation.
Let me tell you something. They're able to get a list of courses that have put bids in that have been turned down by the PGA. If they're able to get
up and coming courses that haven't been established yet,
they go and they confront those courses and they say, "Hey, PGA Tour turned you down. We want your course, and we're going to blow it out, and you're going to be able to do nothing but showcase what you have to offer."
Money.
Yeah,
they can buy off any course in America except for Augusta National.
Except for that one, they don't, because they don't care.
They ain't going.
Absolutely. Well, you know what else is? I don't know how to transition.
I
lost it, so we're just gonna go.
Failed.
I failed it.
Oh man!
Check out
now this.
You got to check out Swannies.co. Coupon code Dadbod Golf -25. Take 25% off your next order. It's getting a little cooler. Get you some heavier golf gear. They got awesome thick warm vests, bigger jackets, and then you can put the stuff you can play golf in. They got hoodies, pullovers, all that good stuff. Check them out, Swannies.co. They got everything your heart can desire on the golf course, to wear on the golf course. They have it. Swannies.co. We love them. Check them out. Love them too.
Sweet hats. The Murph. I got the Murph.
Love them too. All right. So guys, we've sort of hinted at it, but let's talk about, if you're the commissioner of this new golf league, what do you do to make it different, to make it stand out, to make it work? It could be, a couple of things. How do you make it work? How do you make this? What does Greg Norman need to do to make this thing work, Nate?
So we've already talked about the players that he needs to go after. You got to have the best. You got to have the top guys, and you're gonna get them with money. This is all gonna boil down back to money. You're gonna be able to get whatever you want out of this tour if you throw enough money at it. You're gonna be able to get the best courses, the best players. You got to have formats that don't seem silly, not like silly season, not like crazy stuff. But we got to have more match play. I will say this till I'm blue in the face, till I die, my last dying breath. There needs to be more match play. Small fields with big purses. Take the purse of a PGA Tour where you pay 70 guys and instead you pay 20, 16. You're guaranteed to win 150 grand just for showing up and not withdrawing. I think it'd be huge.
Small. So what are some formats? Like what do we want to?
I love just a 16-man scramble. I think we need some more team events. What if we had random draws? Like
that was one of the ones that I was
early in the week, Monday or Tuesday. You pull names out of a hat, and Bryson and DJ, boom.
Because the PGA
and they're going to play.
PGA Tour is notorious for like wanting to pair people that's good for television. No, let's do random, man. I mean,
make it televised.
If you're going to have a small field, let's do 32 players. Let's do random.
Either do random or do the most awkward pairings you could possibly have for TV. One of the two. Yeah.
I'd like every player mic'd up. If you're going to only do 32 players, let's get every player mic'd up. Because it's going to be on cable too. Now, I don't know how many of them will deny it because they've offered this at some other tournaments, and some players have been like, "No, I don't want to do that."
I think
but maybe that's a requirement. maybe you have to.
I think we haven't figured out this match thing yet. We've had a few matches. It started with Tiger and Phil, and there's so much potential there. And when they haven't figured it out yet, like I haven't truly enjoyed one yet. You get so excited, but they just kind of fall flat. So you've got to figure out a little bit better way.
There's not enough people. And you just can't in those things, man. You just can't fill the time. Like you just can't feel. It gets so boring and so drug out. You've nailed like these smaller fields. 36-ish guys. 48 guys. Like you can see every shot of everybody almost. I mean, you can play.
I think 48 is too many. I think
you're right.
32,
Maybe
36 is your
32,
window.
36 is. You're right. I'm with
when they take 120 and they're like, we got the biggest field in golf. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to see any shots except for like 10 guys.
Don't care. Yeah.
That's awesome that you have that. I mean, Kyle, that was one of our biggest gripes. We talked about one of the previous tournaments. Morikawa was one shot off the lead. We didn't see him. All he did was tap in on 18. That was what we got to see. We didn't see another shot all day. And one of the best iron strikers in the game of golf that we never got to see. So take your 32 players, get a lot of coverage with all of them, have them mic'd up. I'm with Nate on the different formats. I know the golf purists are going to hate that. They're going to be like, it just needs to be stroke play.
Tell me what you think about this.
It's like, no, don't.
What if you had one tournament that was hickories? That would be sick. Everybody had to play persimmon woods, hickory shafts.
I was gonna say it doesn't even have to be hickories if they're worried about, because some of them have worried about they've talked about doing something like that or doing it like for a hole and some in different events. Just give them the old steel shaft, but make them play with persimmon woods and like the old technology blade irons, like not what you get today. That's
I want to see shaft
shape and all that. Yeah.
No, I want to see.
The first time they slammed the club down on the ground and it just burst into just.
I think that would be incredible. Yeah. I think that would be incredible TV to watch these guys hit these like old school clubs, and they had time. Obviously, there was plenty of time for them to like train and work. I mean, the scores aren't going to be that low, but I mean, that'd be. I think that would be a lot of fun.
But they're all playing on the same.
Everybody's playing on the same stuff.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah,
I would say that'd be like a good silly season for this tour event. You have some, because I mean, it's I don't know, just it's almost like ludicrous. Like you're playing for $2 million, but you're playing with a persimmon wood.
And you know what? Since he got it mic'd up, let's go ahead and mic up what their bets are. Let's let them do that just right there where everybody kind of knows what the pros are doing. Little side bet action that's taking place. I mean, complete with numbers and have, like when you watch the World Series of Poker, like have the people off on the side explaining what's going on and how much money's fixing to trade hands and that kind of thing. I think it'd be awesome.
Here's another thing. Televised pro-ams on Wednesdays with celebrities, and they will come.
Celebrities.
The big ones. They'll come. They'll come for this. Especially
they'll show up without you having to pay them for stuff like this.
Especially when it's the good golfers. Let's get Alfonso Ribeiro out there. He's a big golf. He would go all over the whole world to do this.
Brady,
Tom Brady, whatever. Let's
get Barack Obama out there
and televise it, mic'd up. That'd be a lot of fun. I love the Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Yes,
when they're breaking down Nick Saban and Bill Belichick swing on the BizHub Konica Minolta swing vision or whatever it is. I love that. And you got whatever the dude's name is right there. Breaking the swings down. That's what I want.
Peter Costas.
Let's get the swings broken down of the celebrities televised. So this is my two things. All right. So you got televised pro-ams, one event that's hickories. I think that would be cool. I want to see that. That's like watching, like, I don't know, when you're in high school going and playing a wooden bat tournament. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, hickories for one. I want to see at least one or two events that's like almost completely alternate shot or a two-man team. Just and then match play. I want to see a big match play tournament, duke it out.
What about four-man, like a four-man team? We've got events in the there are two-man teams, but you have a four-man
scramble.
How formidable is that?
That would be pretty epic. Like you make a one par, you're done.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. You make a birdie on a par 5, you're probably done.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun to watch.
Even if it was modified, even if it was like a Texas scramble where they all get to, get out there and place it in the most perfect position and go from there. And you take the top
scramble would be kind of fun too.
Texas scramble.
You
want to play like Louisiana rules or Texas rules?
That's what's called, Nate. That's what's called.
Cali rules. What's a Texas scramble?
It's a shamble.
It's a shamble. It's you
both tee off and then you pick the best ball and then you
play your own ball from there.
Play your own ball in.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've heard of a shamble. I've never heard of a Texas scramble. I didn't know if it was different than like the Louisiana scramble. So.
No, it's a little different. But yeah. So anything else? What are the biggest? What are the negatives that could come out of this? What's something bad? Like what do you see that's bad that could come out of this?
If it's not televised and even if it is televised and it's on some random channel, nobody watches, it's going to fall flat on its face.
But who cares? You know what I mean? Like that's not on what could this harm the game is what I'm saying. Like, no, is there anything bad that could happen that could harm the game from this?
The only way it could is, and that's what makes me a little worried about the media members and some of the, former players coming out and saying stuff about Norman. Does he say something controversial that upsets somebody? Because as sensitive as the world is now, does he open his mouth at an event and just all of a sudden screw the pooch because he's done that? Other than that, I don't think it hurts the game at all because it's golf's fun. Like, people use speakers on the course now, and they're playing faster, and they're more people are enjoying it and getting into it. And that's the thing is some of these newbies that love watching golf, they don't know what we're sitting here discussing, like Texas scrambles, and you're talking about, 4-man tournament, and you're talking about match play. They're sitting there going, what are these guys talking about? Like, I just got into golf. What are they, what if they get to see all of that in a tournament? There's no way that hurts the game. That does everything. That gets everybody buzzing about it. Do you imagine the rock star publicity they're going to get from that? Like people going, did you hear what they were doing at that tournament?
I'll say this. When there was no crowds and we had the microphones picking up everything, you mic those guys up, you're going to get the same match. You can tell it's fake. You can tell they're trying to be careful what they say. You're never going to get what they say when they're walking down the fairway of a practice round or a PGA Tour round because they have that anonymity. Thank you. So you mic them up, they're going to do that cheesy, clean trash talk because the stuff that they say in the fairways is the stuff that Justin Thomas said, and he got caught on tape, and then he got crucified for it.
Yeah,
right. That's what you're going to run into if you do this whole just anything goes. Like, what if these guys are betting like 40, 50, 60 grand a hole, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, these are just like compulsive gamblers. And everybody thinks they was, yeah. Like they're not betting for charity. It's just like, hey, what's up, dude? I'll bet you 50 grand on this hole.
So you think it's
an image thing.
They could let it go too far inside the ropes.
Yeah, I think, I would. I think when you give that much access, either it's going to come across lame, like it already does in these matches. Tiger and Phil is the lamest trash talk of all time. You know that if you're just a fly on the wall in a Tiger Phil match, that stuff is R-rated. Yeah. And then instead you get like, hey, good chip, Phil. Best you didn't press that in the backyard, like lame, boring stuff. So, because golfers more than anybody in sports have this family, this good guy, gentleman, honorable reputation. You don't have a guy with sleeve tats who came from Compton playing golf. You don't have that. So I just don't know if that reputation's they're gonna allow that reputation to.
This is all the more reason though that you have an opportunity to delay it, like when they play overseas and then play it back at a later time.
Yeah,
you can't sit them down and everybody approve what you put in and what you don't put in, but you can lay down some ground rules. The players can, and their agents can sit down with the tour itself and be like, okay, anything that we consider to be negative, I don't want to be shown cussing, and I don't want to be shown making any stupid bets or something of that nature. And then and then you go that route, and then that way they have time to edit it and delay it a little bit later on. So
and then the intern releases a comment of Bryson making a racist comment, and then all hell breaks loose.
No, I get
because if I'm an intern there and somebody TMZ
Why'd you go straight to Bryson on that?
30 grand. I'm just thinking of a big name. I don't think Bryson's racist. I don't know. No.
Here's my big negative. Okay. My big negative is really not so much with this new deal. It's how butthurt does the PGA Tour get over it? Okay.
Bad.
To the point where what if they renege on like letting a waiver, like players go over and play, and then they're like, okay, well, you're done. You can't come back to the PGA Tour. Like, what if there's some sort of what if it's some stuff like that where it could jeopardize? It may not be. They're probably not going to do that with like a Bryson or a Brooks Koepka. But what if it's like a an Abraham Answer or a Jason Kokrak or somebody like that doesn't super push the needle, but they're still big names.
Mm-hmm.
I worry about, I guess tour status. Could the PGA Tour react in a way that's childish and affect people's tour status that we like to watch moving forward? Taylor Gooch. What if Taylor Gooch goes over there? Tyler Gooch.
I did kind of was curious if my man Tyler was going.
That's an interesting point, but you also got to wonder. Nate said it best a while ago. The players need to realize how much power they have. PGA Tour does that. I'm finding the nearest microphone, and I'm like, nope. I was set to play in Saudi, and the PGA Tour told me I couldn't, and they threatened to take away my card, and they threatened to kick me off the tour if I went and played in this one event that I was going to donate 50% of my winnings to St. Jude.
See, Tyler Gooch isn't that they'll kick Tyler Gooch off the tour and he has nothing to stand on. It's your Dustin Johnsons, it's your Morikawas, right? It's your Brysons. Those are the guys that have the power.
Do you have guys like that stand up though? If say a Tyler Gooch, if he is threatened and DJ says, you kick him off, I'm with him.
I doubt it.
I guess the first thing I would say is like, they're going to lose that so much money, but the Saudis are more than happy to line their pockets.
Yeah.
And the PGA Tour can't kick them out of the US Open. They can't kick them out of the British Open, and they can't kick them out of the Masters.
And see, that's the thing is there's also those fringe guys that Rory said it best. One of his quotes were some of the guys that need the money, they don't care what the PGA Tour says. Mm-hmm. When they see that they got an opportunity to finish 20th and still make $1 million, they're going over there to play. That's how that works. Money talks. Sure. So it's those fringe guys, they can threaten them all they want. They're like, that's fine. I mean, I'm going to go make a couple of million playing in these 10 tournaments, which is more than what I've ever made here. And I'm going to have a good time. And then I'll come back and try to requalify next year. How about that? It's that. So those guys like at the bottom fringe, that I don't think they're worried about it because they're fine with cutting ties and going over and making money. But it's that middle of the road group that finishes, I don't know, somewhere between 30th and 50th every week in that range that it's like, I can't really threaten. I don't want to lose my car.
I don't have that leverage.
Yeah, I don't have the leverage that a DJ has, and I'm not 175th where I can be like, well, fine, the hell with you. I'm going to go over there and make money because I ain't going to make no money here. So I'll go over there and do it. Yeah.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with this thing moving forward. Heck, I'm kind of excited about it. If it's something new, something different, fun golf whenever, maybe there's not a whole lot of golf.
Hey, Kyle, there's no rules. What do we say? Why don't we get the quarters involved in this? Why don't we do mix? Why don't we do mix? You do some LPGA Tour players, get the ladies paid too. I mean,
you don't think that fires me up? You're crazy. Let's go.
What's up?
Get Nelly on the TV. Let's go.
Yes. I mean, get that sort of thing going. Michelle, we get back in the game and go, you imagine how popular she's going to be overseas if she goes over there and plays
and Bryson
hitting bombs all day long.
Yeah.
Hey, Texas Scramble, they probably use Lexi's drives like never.
There's no doubt. So that's, that kind of thing.
Forward though.
That kind of thing is, that's where they can use that sort of star power. You take some of the ladies along with some of the guys that are big names, and you let them say, we're going and we're going to grow the game of golf. And the PGA Tour's gonna be like, crap. Now what do we do?
Yeah, we're gonna be the bad guy here.
Yeah.
Love it. No, I'm interested to see how it plays out. I'm sure there'll be some storylines that continue to evolve from this, and we'll keep you guys abreast of all the knowledge that comes available.
What'd you
We'll
just
keep you
say?
guys up to date. I don't even know if
He
that
said
will.
it.
I think
Said
I think that fit. I think that was the right word
Yeah,
for that
it was.
time. So
What'd you say?
abreast.
Hey, Grammy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's one word, guys, not two. Although sometimes there are two of them. Anyway, this has been episode 81 of the Dad Bod Golf Pod. We're fired up. It's Thursday. The weekend's in sight. Tomorrow's Friday.
Friendship.
It's going to be maybe a nice friendship Friday. Can't wait. You guys stay tuned and keep listening and keep subscribing. Follow us on social media. Give us some feedback. What do you think about this tour? What do you think about Greg Norman? You know, maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I don't know some bad stuff that he's done that I need to know about. So inform us. We're just average dad bods. We're not super into all this. It's super in depth. So keep us informed. We'll keep you informed. Catch us next time tomorrow. Only weekly golf podcast out there Monday through Friday. We are the Dad Bod Golf Pod, and we're
always stroking.